One shotgun on this list is so powerful that when it fires from a boat, the recoil pushes the entire boat backward through the water. Another one was so terrifying in World War I that enemy soldiers literally tried to have it banned as a war crime. And then there's one that looks incredible on paper but might actually be the worst modern shotgun ever manufactured. Today, we're ranking every major shotgun from the absolute bottom of the barrel all the way up to the most devastating room-clearing weapons ever designed. Some of these will surprise you, some of these will genuinely shock you, and a couple of them are flat-out banned from civilian hands, for very good reasons. Let's start at the very bottom and work our way up. Every tier list needs a basement, and these shotguns are sitting right in it. Let's talk about the Blunderbuss first, because honestly, this thing is the granddad of every shotgun on this list. It's loud, it's smoky, and it's shaped like someone welded a trumpet to a piece of lumber. Now here's the wild part about the Blunderbuss. You could literally shove rocks, scrap metal, nails, or whatever else you had lying around down that barrel, and it would still fire. If it fit, it shipped, but that's where the fun stops. You got exactly one shot won. And after that one shot, you'd be standing in a cloud of thick smoke trying to reload a weapon that takes an eternity to get ready again. Oh, and if it was raining, forget about it. The thing simply would not fire in wet conditions. Hitting anything at distance was pure fantasy. It earns its place in F tier as a museum piece, not a weapon. Next up, the punt gun. Now technically calling this a shotgun is generous. This thing is massive. You physically cannot carry it. You cannot shoulder it. You cannot aim it in any traditional sense. It was literally mounted to boats and used in the 1800s for commercial waterfowl hunting, where hunters would point it at a flock sitting on the water and essentially delete dozens of birds in a single blast. The recoil from this thing was so violent that it would shove the entire boat backward several feet through the water. It was never designed for anything resembling combat or personal use. It belongs in F tier, and honestly, it barely belongs on this list at all. Then there's the Cobra Terminator. This is a single-shot, manually operated shotgun where after every single shot, you have to physically push the barrel forward to eject the spent shell, then manually insert a fresh one. It's slower than break-action shotguns, which are already slow. It's not effective at any meaningful range. It's the kind of weapon that makes you wonder who approved the final design. F tier, no question. And finally, the UTS-15. Now this one hurts because on paper, it looks absolutely incredible. Dual magazine tubes, bullpup layout, tactical styling that looks like it belongs in a sci-fi movie. But in reality, this might be the most problematic modern shotgun ever produced. We're talking feeding failures, ejection issues, inconsistent cycling, and jams that happen even when the gun is perfectly clean and properly maintained. Multiple users have reported the same recurring nightmares with this platform. You'd honestly be better off grabbing a two-shot coach gun than trusting your life to this thing. F tier, and a cautionary tale about never judging a shotgun by its looks. Moving up slightly, we hit D tier, where the shotguns at least function properly but are severely limited by design or age. The Winchester Model 1887 uses a lever action mechanism, which sounds cool in theory and looks amazing when you spin cock it like a movie star. But in practice, it's awkward to operate and completely impractical in tight spaces. Reloading is painfully slow, and the entire platform is hopelessly outdated for any modern application. It's a collector's piece, a cowboy gun, something you hang on a wall or bring to a themed shooting event. That's it. The coach gun gives you 2 shells. 2. After those 2 shots, you break it open, eject the spent casings, insert 2 fresh shells, close the action, and fire again. By the time you finish that reloading process in any kind of high-pressure situation, the fight is already over and you probably lost. The reliability is excellent because there's almost nothing that can go wrong mechanically with something this simple, but the capacity limitation is absolutely crippling. It's a hunting and recreational tool, nothing more. The sawed-off shotgun concept sits here too. Whether it started life as a pump-action semi-auto or anything else, the defining feature is that shortened barrel. Up close within just a few feet, the spread is devastating, but step back to any kind of medium range and accuracy falls apart completely. At longer distances, it's essentially useless. The trade-off between concealability and effectiveness is just too extreme. The Savage Model 24 rounds out D tier with its unique over-under design featuring 1 rifle barrel and 1 shotgun barrel. You get 2 shots before reloading, and that reload process through its break action mechanism is not fast. It was built for hunting and wilderness survival scenarios, not for fighting. It does what it was designed to do reasonably well, but it simply cannot compete with anything designed for serious defensive or combat use. And the Chiappa Triple Threat earns its D-tier placement with 3 barrels instead of 2, giving you exactly 1 more shot than a coach gun before that same slow break action reload process kicks in. 3 shots, then you're standing there fumbling with shells. Extremely reliable, sure, but reliability alone cannot carry a platform with this many limitations. Tier solid but standard. C tier is where things get interesting because these are genuinely good shotguns that millions of people trust with their lives. They just don't have anything that pushes them higher. The Browning Auto 5 holds the distinction of being the very first semi-automatic shotgun ever manufactured. It's historically significant and incredibly reliable, known for functioning through mud, rain, freezing cold, and brutal conditions that would choke other firearms. Even by today's standards, it's still faster than any pump action. But it holds only 4+1 shells. It cycles slower than modern semi-autos, and its design is simply too dated for serious tactical consideration. The Mossberg 500 and 590 are the second most produced shotguns on the planet, and they earned that status through pure dependability. They're lightweight, easy to handle, and they just work. But there's nothing special here. No unique mechanism, no exceptional capacity beyond about 7 rounds, no military-grade components in the standard versions. They're popular because they deliver exactly what's expected, nothing more and nothing less. The Winchester Model 1897, the infamous trench gun, was genuinely the most feared shotgun of the First World War. It had slam fire capability, meaning you could hold down the trigger and just keep pumping, and it would fire every single time the action closed. That made it the fastest pump-action platform of its era by a significant margin. But the exposed hammer requires careful handling and more frequent maintenance, and the overall design simply cannot compete with what's available today. The Ithaca 37 brought a clever bottom-ejecting design that gave it reliability advantages over side-ejecting competitors, though it was somewhat slower to reload as a trade-off. Older models also featured slam fire capability. Military and police forces used it for decades, which speaks to its quality. But time has moved on, and the Ithaca 37 has settled into roles as a hunting gun, sporting weapon, and collector's item. The Remington 870 is the single most produced shotgun in history, and that fact alone demands respect. It's phenomenally reliable in the pump-action category, but standard models hold only 4 to 7 rounds. They lack military-grade features, and there's nothing that sets them apart from the crowd in terms of raw capability. It's a workhorse that does everything adequately without excelling at anything specific. B tier, above average performers. B tier is where shotguns start showing genuine tactical advantage. The Mossberg 590M takes the standard 590 platform and adds a detachable box magazine holding up to 20 shells. That single change transforms it from an ordinary pump shotgun into something with serious sustained firepower potential. The Remington 1000-100 is a gas-operated semi-automatic with the second softest recoil of any shotgun ever made. Shooting this thing feels remarkably gentle, which allows for faster follow-up shots and less fatigue over extended sessions. It holds 4 to 8 rounds depending on configuration and is genuinely reliable, though low power loads can sometimes fail to cycle and the gas ports need frequent cleaning. The Mossberg 590A1 takes the 590 and upgrades it with a heavy-walled barrel that's thicker, stronger, and far more durable. It's essentially a shotgun built to military specifications. The pump action limitation caps its fire rate and capacity tops out at 9 rounds, but the build quality is substantially higher than its civilian siblings. The Kel-Tec KSG packs dual tube magazines holding up to 14+1 rounds into a compact bullpup frame. You can load different ammunition types in each tube and switch between them mid-engagement. Buckshot in one tube, slugs in the other. That flexibility in close quarters is genuinely valuable. The catch is that short stroking the pump, not pulling it all the way back, causes jams. And the overall platform isn't as fast or rugged as higher tier options. The Beretta A300 delivers fast semi-automatic fire with soft shooting characteristics and solid reliability. But it's held back by its standard tube magazine and the need for regular gas system maintenance. It's an excellent all-purpose shotgun that simply wasn't built for combat. The Winchester SXP features an inertia-assisted pump slide that cycles noticeably faster than traditional pump actions. It's a modern, well-designed platform, but it's still constrained by a tube magazine of 4 to 7 shells and cannot match semi-automatic fire rates. A T-Air Elite Class. A tier is where shotguns become genuinely formidable. The SPAS 12 features a dual-mode system allowing the operator to switch between pump action and semi-automatic fire. In semi-auto mode, a fast trigger finger can reach 300 rounds per minute. Its only real limitations are magazine capacity and the inability to fire 3-inch Magnum shells. The Benelli M4 is the gold standard for combat shotguns. Designed specifically for military deployment, it proved its reputation across multiple theaters of conflict. Its Argo gas system cycles virtually anything: buckshot, slugs, breaching rounds, specialty ammunition with legendary reliability. The U.S. Marines adopted it as their standard issue combat shotgun. 7+1 capacity is its only real constraint. The Beretta 1301 cycles 36% faster than most competing semi-automatic designs. At under 7 pounds fully loaded, it's remarkably lightweight and maneuverable. It excels in tactical applications and defensive scenarios, delivering modern performance that puts it among the very best available. The Tavor TS-12 brings a triple-tube rotating magazine system holding 15+1 shells and a semi-automatic, gas-operated bullpup package. It's shorter than conventional shotguns while maintaining full barrel length, and that capacity is staggering. It runs nearly 10 pounds loaded, which is substantial, but the combination of firepower and maneuverability is hard to beat. The Genesis Arms Gen 12 pairs semi-automatic operation with an AR-style platform and magazine-fed loading, making reloads blazingly fast compared to tube-fed alternatives. It offers rifle-like handling with shotgun stopping power and modern military-inspired design. The Benelli M2 uses an inertia-driven system that's mechanically simpler and more reliable than gas-operated alternatives, though it does produce heavier felt recoil. Depending on configuration, it holds up to 8 rounds. There's a reason a certain famous fictional assassin chose this platform. It's devastatingly effective in skilled hands. A tier, right where it belongs. S-T-E-R, the absolute monsters. S-tier is reserved for shotguns that fundamentally break the rules. The USA's 12 isn't really a shotgun in the traditional sense, it's a 12-gauge automatic weapon. No pump, no break action, just pure continuous fire at 360 rounds per minute, making it the fastest firing shotgun platform ever created. It feeds from 10-round box magazines or 20-round drums, and it features select fire capability switching between semi and full automatic. At 16 pounds with a loaded drum, it's brutally heavy, but it's banned from civilian ownership for a very clear reason. This thing was designed to do one job, and it does that job with terrifying efficiency. The AA-12 fires at 300 rounds per minute in full automatic with an 8-round magazine or a 32-round drum. It handles slugs, buckshot, and explosive fragmentation rounds with an effective range of about 100 yards. It clears enclosed spaces with devastating effectiveness. At 16 pounds loaded with the drum, it's a beast to carry, but the sheer volume of 12-gauge firepower it delivers is unmatched. The KS-23 takes a completely different approach to dominance. Its 23mm bore was manufactured from repurposed aircraft cannon barrels, making it dramatically larger than standard 12-gauge. It fires shrapnel rounds, armor-penetrating slugs, glass-breaker projectiles, tear gas grenades, and flashbang rounds. Ammunition far more destructive per shot than anything a conventional shotgun can deliver. It's pump action with only 3+1 capacity, but when a single well-placed shot can end an engagement entirely, capacity becomes secondary. And the military variant Saiga 12 in full automatic configuration earns its S-tier placement by combining AK platform durability with high-capacity drum magazines and fully automatic fire. It's everything the civilian version offers, amplified to a level that puts it alongside the most devastating shotgun platforms ever fielded.